Namaste children, how are you? I hope all of you are well and fine. So in our previous class we have learned about the plants around us. Children, in this chapter we have already learned about terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. And today we will learn about the cultivation process. But before starting the cultivation process, let's revise whatever we learned in our previous class. That was plants on hills. That examples was pine, deodar, kedar, spruce and fir. Those plants which used to grow on the hills, and they are straight and long, and they are in conical shape. Then the next terrestrial plants was plants on plains, in which we have learned about peepal tree, banyan tree, mango tree, sal tree, shisham tree. So these trees are found here in the plains. Now let's go to the next terrestrial plant. That plants are that used to grow in hot and wet regions, and such kind of plants are also called evergreen plants. Do you know the reason? Because they appears always green. That's why they are called evergreen plants. Now the examples of the plants of hot and wet regions are teak, rubber, coconut, etc. Now let's go. Plants like pepper, cotton, rice and banana also grow in hot and wet region. Children, next plant which are grown in terrestrial plants which come in the category of terrestrial plants are plants of marshy areas. So children, we have already known about the mangrove plants which used to grow in marshy soil, and these plants have aerial roots or breathing roots. So these roots used to come out of the soil to take oxygen from the outside environment. So now the next category of terrestrial plants is plants of desert areas, in which we have learned about the cactus, which has no leaves, but at the place of leaves there are spines, and it is the specialty to store water in it, and that's why it is able to survive in very little water. So cactus plant is found in desert areas. Now comes the next category of the plants, that is aquatic plants, means plants which grow in water. In this category we have learned about three kind of plants. First is floating aquatic plant, in which water lettuce, water hyacinth and duckweed we have learned. They used to float over the water because they are not attached to the surface. Now the second category is fixed aquatic plant, in which the plants need to attach with a surface. In this category lotus and water lily comes. They have stems with holes and their leaves are also broad. Now one more category of plant is underwater plant, in which we have learned about hydrilla. And hydrilla is a very useful plant, as it used to increase the oxygen content in the water, which is very useful for the aquatic animals, the increasing level of oxygen. And not only this, it also helps to remove the carbon dioxide also. So this is the use of hydrilla, which plant is used to grow under water. Now in this chapter, the next thing today we are going to learn is about the cultivation of plants. Children, do you know how the cultivation of plants happens? So here we will see how the cultivation of plants goes on. Here a story of Mona is given in a short form. One day Mona visited a village. She saw some farmers uprooting some small plants from their field. Mind it, the word uprooting means they are taking out some small plants from the field. She asked her father why were they doing so. Her father told that plants like sugarcane, maize, wheat and rice are grown in this way by the farmer. Such plants are called cultivated plants. So in this paragraph we will know about the process of cultivation. In the process of cultivation, how ploughing is done to farm on a field, then how a field is prepared to be ready for cultivation. Children, first of all, I would like to explain you the word cultivation. Cultivation means farming. Farming, do you know? Farming word comes from farmer. Farmer used to do farming on its field. And in this process, in the farming process or in the process of cultivation, many things happens, because they first prepare the fields to sow the seeds. Then what is the meaning of sow? Yes, the meaning of sow is to they used to put the seeds in the soil to make it grow. For this, they first dig the soil, means they prepare the soil to be sow the seeds, then loosen it and make it soft. Children, what do you do when you go to plant a plant in at your home? First of all, if you are having a pot, or you are going to plant a tree and on the ground, first of all you used to dig the soil. First of all, the soil is digged, then after the seed or the plant is planted there, then after water is required. Likewise, to farm on a field, the farmers first of all used to prepare the land for farming, and for that they first prepare their fields to sow the seeds. And what do they does for that? For this, they very first dig the soil, loosen it, means loosen the soil, and then make it soft. This is called ploughing. So ploughing is the method of cultivation. It is the process which used to prepare the land for cultivation. Ploughing is done by using a plough, which is an iron structure. So look at the picture. Here is a bullock. Some two bullocks are just ploughing the field, and it is an iron structure that is pulled by the farmer. These days, ploughing is done with the help of tractor. Children, in the class where I used to draw this plowshare, I have shown you already how the farmers used to plough the fields, and how nowadays this ploughing is done by the tractors. Ploughing is followed by sprinkling of seeds. Now, sprinkling of seeds are also very important, because it needs a process. It needs a way to sprinkle the seeds in the ground, because it is necessary to drop the right amount of seeds at regular distance. The field is then watered. After sowing the seeds at regular distance, the field is watered, means the plants require water to grow. That's why after sowing the seeds, the field is watered. Then after few days, small plants start sprouting. Sprouting, means coming out from the seeds. Along with these sprouts, weeds may also appear in the field. Now let me explain the word weeds. Children, weeds means unwanted plants. If you plant at your home, after few days, we used to see that some more plants which we do not planted there automatically grows at that place. Sometimes very small flowers are also seen in those plants, but those plants are not planted by us. They used to appear there automatically, naturally. So those plants are unwanted, and those unwanted plants also used to grow in the field where cultivated plants are grown by the farmer. So these unwanted plants are removed. Why we do so? We do so because they do not consume water. Because the main plant which has been cultivated there are not able to get proper water and mineral that has been given for those plants, because weeds are there and they disturb to grow the main plants which has been cultivated there. So weeds are unwanted plants, and they also used to soak water, as well as they used to take minerals which are which are given there for the main cultivated crop. That's why these weeds must be root out from the field, because they disturbs the growth of the main cultivated plants. So some keywords are given here. Aerial means growing in the air. This word is related to mangrove plants because breathing root is also called aerial root. Now comes cavities. Cavity means hollow space. Now from there this word came. This came from aquatic plants because they are having stems. Lotus plant is having a stem with hollow space. Then comes conical. Conical is a shape, and this that resembles a cone, and these shapes are found in the tree of hilly areas. Uproot means to pull by the roots. So this is the chapter. Now let's do some value based questions. Let's see what is the value based lesson given here. Now here a small story of a boy named Ramesh is given in your book. Now Ramesh vacation is going on, and he went to his grandfather's village, grandparents' village, where he used to saw his old and weak grandfather plowing the fields with the help of bullocks. Ramesh felt very sad. In the evening, he rang up his father and told him about it. So usually children used to visit their grandparents at vacations, and likewise Ramesh also went to the village of his grandparents, where he saw what he saw. He saw that his grandparents parent who was very old, he was just plowing the field with the help of bullocks, and this work needs very much labor. That's why Ramesh felt very sad. And what does that boy do then? In the evening, he rang up his father and told him about it. And after a few days, his father came to the village with a person from the bank. And the bank offered easy loans to farmers to buy tractors. So, children, loan is money provided by bank to the farmers. After a month, Ramesh's grandfather brought a new tractor, and he was now happy. So, plowing with bullock is very difficult in respect to the tractor. The work is done by the bullock are very slow in comparison to a tractor, and it is very easy to plow the field in less time. So his grandparent was very happy now. Now some questions are given. We have already discussed about this value based chapter in our class, and here I am going to just give you a review. Then how do we know that Ramesh is a very caring boy? Yes, many of you answered before also. Ramesh was very caring boy because when he saw that his grandfather is working at the field with the help of bullocks, he felt very sad, and that's why he told this problem to his father. And then his father managed a loan from bank, and then those people were able to buy a tractor from that loan, and in this way this shows that Ramesh was a very caring boy. What kind of a man is Ramesh's father? So yes, many of you have answered that Ramesh's father was a very kind man, and he was also very caring because he cares his son as well as his father also. Now last question is, how can you help your grandparents? Children, all of you are having grandparents at your home. Yes, and they love you too much, and they are also cared by you. Children, they need respect and care, and you must respect your grandparents. Many of the children used to avoid their grandparents. They do not listen to them. That is very bad. If you are having grandparents, you are very lucky. If you are having Nana, Nani, Dada, Dadi at your home, They love you a lot and they are always ready to do something for you. Likewise, you must help them by providing their daily needs, like their spectacles, like their stick. If they ask for water or anything or medicine, etc., you must provide them what they need. So this question regarding you, this question is fully depends on you, that how can you handle your grandparents, how can you help your grandparents. So you must answer in the question in your own way. Something to do, it has been already given in your homework, children. Make a list of trees growing in and around your school. You must do this. The next question is prepare charts of terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. This question you have to do in your copy, and for rest of the questions that has been already discussed with you, I am going to send you a PDF of this chapter. And now I am going to end this chapter. Thank you, children. Bye.